It's a whole new world we cook in. It's a whole new place to eat. We're in season 6 with some brand new recipes, 'cause we're still gonna cook them all and make a pun or two or three.
Hello, and welcome to I Choose You, the podcast about cooking and eating Pokemon. My name is Jeremy Zielek. I'm the host and Dalton Brown of the group. Joining me this week, as always, is... Oh my god.
You all right over there, Ben?
Your friend on this show, Ben Montoya, with a very difficult to crack beer.
I'm going to give us I consult my notes, the Jared Hess of the show.
Uh-oh.
Okay.
And I'm back.
Woo!
Evan Aubrey,
Nice.
drinking some tea.
Back and refreshed.
I'm
Yes.
so refreshed. Yeah.
What kind of tea is it, Evan?
It's Star Wars Mandalorian Legendary Destiny Black Tea.
Okay.
Much
Nice.
more involved than I thought.
Yeah, I got it for Christmas. It's pretty good. It's pretty good.
What does it taste like?
It's like, you know, your run of the mill black tea, but it's festive.
Uh-huh.
All right. Okay.
Yeah.
Doesn't it taste like Pedro Pascal sweat or something?
Oh, I wish. No.
Can you show us that mug?
Oh yeah, this is a mug from Opuntia, the tea house in Santa Fe.
Oh, I've been there.
Oh,
It's a good,
very cool.
good spot.
That's nice.
Excellent. Ben, when you cracked your beer, it kind of like, did a little, spurt on you.
It's
What kind
great.
of beer? Yeah. What kind of beer do you have?
I have a Society Brewing, what is this called? Beer Folks Unite.
All you beer folks.
West Coast IPA. Yeah.
Nice.
I have a question. It's called Society Brewing.
Mm-hmm.
Is it?
But
like,
it's not spelled with it's spelled with an E at the end. So it's like
Societe.
Societe.
Oh, so it's like a kind of French Revolution thing.
Yeah, kinda. And it's got like the imagery is sort of like knights and
okay.
medieval fantasy, high fantasy.
All right.
Mm.
I
You
thought
live
it
in a
was gonna be
society.
like it's gonna be like
Yeah.
Society We Live in One, and it's like a Joker beer, and it's like
Well,
drink
they
it
have
to become Joker-fied.
they have one beer that's called like the Pupil, and then they have one that's like the Philosopher or whatever.
Wow.
So
Okay.
they're trying to, their theme is society, and
Mhm.
all of its little bits. I know you love the bits, Jeremy.
Well, I do love bits, so I can't deny it.
What are you guys drinking?
I've got a LaCroix.
A LaCroix.
But what flavor?
Yeah, mark that one down for a LaCroix.
I still have to sell Paulo. That's all I got is the Guava.
That's perfectly acceptable. I have slightly different sparkling water this week. I'm going to crack it open right now. It's Trader Joe's sparkling water, raspberry lime flavored.
I fucking knew it. The moment you cracked that can, I was like, yeah, that's fucking
Timbre.
Trader. He's gonna say Trader Joe's.
He cracks it and it goes, Trader Joe's.
Yes, whispers sweet nothings into
Joe.
my ear.
Good
Good
job.
Joe.
So I went to Trader Joe's today to do what some might call grocery shopping.
Is it
There
where
was a
you
giant-
said sparkling water?
Yeah, I bought 20 cases of sparkling water. But along the way, there was a giant peanut-shaped truck that was in the parking lot, and it said #nutmobile on it.
Not
So-
just any peanut truck. It's the Planters Peanuts Nutmobile,
yes,
which made no sense at a Trader
Nutmobile.
Joe's.
It was just there, and it was like double parked, and there was no one like in it. So I don't know if they were like stopping to like purchase items at Trader Joe's.
Maybe it was like a hot pursuit and they like drove that on the highway
Oh,
and
shit.
abandoned the car in the parking lot and then
Yeah.
took off on foot.
Yeah.
Mr. Peanut is still at large as we speak.
Right.
Well, it's like when he died in a car accident. It would have been funnier if he died in a car accident in like a nutmobile, like he was driving a nutmobile and like a wheel blew out and he had to like it went off the side of the highway.
You could say he blew his nut.
Yes.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Well, I think I've cracked the case. I went to plantersnutmobile.com.
Okay.
Mhm.
Well, sorry, I misspoke. I went to planters.com/nutmobile,
Sure.
and it just has a button that says request the nutmobile.
Requested?
And I clicked on it, and then it takes me to plantersnutmobile.com/requests. The license plate on it is nuts for you.
Okay, yeah.
Is it a
Sure.
4?
But,
I can-
like anyone can just openly request this vehicle, like a Lime scooter or like a.
Yeah, no, like, all right, first name,
That's a
last
car
name,
share.
phone number, email, how did you hear about us, event description, venue
But the
address.
event is I want to see the nutmobile.
The event is
Show
I
me
need to
the
go to
nut.
Trader Joe's.
Yes.
Start time, end time, event date. Is the date flexible?
What do you mean? Like,
I think we need to book it, is what
Yeah.
you mean.
200th episode is live recorded in the nutmobile.
Oh, that's how we become famous. This is
Yeah.
our break into stardom.
Yes.
what's up, everyone? We're streaming live from the Nutmobile.
Recording live from D's Nuts.
Oh, we have to drop one of those on them.
We're really bofaing this one.
Yeah, we interview Mr. Peanut, and we're like, "How do you feel about Bofa?" And he's,
Yeah.
and he's like, "What? Bofa what?"
Oh, what do you say?
But you act like he is obviously an old money aristocrat, but the way you talk about him, he's like he needs like a hearing trumpet to
Well, I mean, he's basically like the New Yorker cartoon of like snack mascots,
Mm.
right? Like
Very true.
But he died, and he came back.
as,
Just
yeah,
born
baby,
again.
He was-
nut. Ben, how
Came
can
back
we-
as a woke nut.
nut. Look, I didn't investigate the nutmobile further than taking a
Oh.
picture of it and sending it to you guys because I
Wow,
was
so
going.
you're the perfect victim for this viral marketing campaign, aren't you? Just looked no further than the
Oh shit!
the website, or even you just take a picture of it, post it, share it, like the millennial you are.
I am glad to report that they have the schedule up on the website. February 22nd, 10 a.m. to 12. They're going to be at the Roadrunner Food Bank in Albuquerque.
Oh shit!
February 23rd.
This is where you steal the car.
Yeah.
They're going to White Sands National Park on the 23rd, and they're spending most of March in Texas, Louisiana.
So this is like one
So-
nutmobile, and it's just going cross country.
Yeah,
It's the equivalent of like the Oscar Mayer Wienermobile, basically.
have
Mhm.
nuts will travel.
So is the point of it that you just see it and go like, ha, it's a truck that looks like a peanut, you know?
Yeah.
Now I want to buy peanuts. Or does it like have
That's basically how
anything
marketing
special?
works. Like,
Well, yeah. But is there anything special about it? Like, can you get anything special at the Nutmobile?
It had like a window, I assume, that you could purchase a variety of nuts from.
Okay.
Again,
like
I didn't
maybe a
do
limited
this.
edition nut that you could
Yeah.
save.
The golden nut.
Well,
ooh.
let me tell you, based on this page, it's one shell of a job. Dating back to the first Planters brand Nutmobile in 1935,
Oh.
this
Wow.
iconic 26-foot long peanut on wheels has evolved into a nutty experience that brings people together.
Imagine it's the Depression and you see a giant peanut. And you like turn into one of those cartoon people and you like follow it like floating behind it because you're like, oh man, there's a giant peanut driving by.
They have three quote unquote brand ambassadors that they call peanutters, which are really, I think, three unpaid interns that they've like hoaxed.
That
into
sounds
doing
about
this.
right.
I don't
There's-
like Peanutter. That's
Mhm.
not a good one.
Well, there's Crunch Time Kev,
Oh no.
who's just like a dude, just a white dude with glasses who graduated from Syracuse University in 2020.
He's the dude that we make work like 80-hour weeks. Crunch time.
Yeah.
Crunch time, Kev.
Then there's Shell Lexa.
Is that like
Ooh.
the Amazon
Alexa.
phone or whatever?
She went to Arizona State University with a BS in marketing. BS is right.
Nice.
Wait, so is part of being like an ambassador meaning that they have to like figure out a pun with your name?
Maybe you want to ask Groundnut Grace.
Yeah, if you have a name like Keith, stay the fuck out of here.
Yeah. Can
yeah.
we do any like nut names with us? Ben Nutjamin.
Ian Nut.
Oh.
Nut. This is
I'm
terrible.
fucking good
I
at
hate
this.
this. This is bad. Okay, so we gave Mr. Peanut his spot. The thing that I'm confused at is you said that it's a historic, pilgrimage, essentially, right? How come I've never heard of it? How come this is the first time I've encountered the nutmobile, if it's such an iconic part of our history?
Yeah.
Well, you see, in 1935, the first peanut car was built and used by Planters brand salesmen. Since then, it's evolved from one peanut car to a hot rod to a fleet of vehicles.
They have a nut fleet?
Yeah.
Yeah, Fast
Dude.
10 featuring the Nutmobile.
Fast nut.
I'll actually let's see if I can drop this. The OG planter nutmobile looks like a classic, like the original Ford vehicle, but if they shoved a peanut around it.
Does it sound like you go awooga when you
Yes.
do the horn? Oh
Yes, it
yeah,
does.
look
Well,
at this
according
guy.
to this picture, the Planter's Peanut is straddling this nutmobile in a very sensual manner.
Oh my god! Wow,
And
this
Evan also has
is...
texted us too fast, too nut.
Yeah, this thing is. So in 2011, they made like a biodiesel nutmobile,
Oh, for the
Runs on
environment.
peanut oil.
Yeah.
and then in 2014, they're like, "Oh, we have GPS in it now." That's what
So
they have
you
to
can
say.
track the nutmobile basically.
Hmm.
Or maybe it helps them get there. Damn, the 2021 version does have a bed inside, so presumably all three of those interns just suck
Live
and
it.
fuck and nut in this mobile.
Get back in the nut.
Well, yeah. Well,
Wow.
I'm glad a chance nut encounter today has generated so much content for our podcast.
Hey, Jeremy,
Yeah.
how many nuts long do you think the peanut mobile is? Because I know.
Is that?
How many nuts long?
How many peanuts long?
Are we talking whole or half?
6,900.
415.
Couldn't make it
420.
5 nuts longer.
I like that they give you the dimensions of it in peanuts, but then it's just engine V8 6-liter. It's you couldn't have converted that to nuts.
It's a V-nut engine.
Yeah, how much nut power does this have?
Forget horsepower. How many if you take the calories of one peanut, convert that into what an engine is, and bada bing, bada boom, it's 13,000 nuts.
Picture
Nut
this.
I wouldn't be surprised if at some point in the next 5 years someone figures out a way to make car batteries out of peanuts. That's one of those headlines that you'd see and you're like, wow, I mean science, right?
They finally did it. They made
did
a
it.
car battery out of a peanut.
Jeremy, do you remember that scene where Duke Atreides turns to his son? He's like, on the homeworld we had sea power, but here we have to cultivate nut power.
Hmm.
All right, that's a Dune reference for everybody. They say
More where that
desert
came
power,
from.
but imagine if the desert was made out of peanuts or something instead of spice. It was Planters peanuts. All that business.
I have one more thing to show you guys from this website. I went to the merch store. Imagine a blue t-shirt, it says Planters on it, but then it's just cheese balls.
I think you're ignoring the best part of it, which is this blue T-shirt that says cheese balls also has a sticker that say it's back.
Oh, it's back. Yeah, wait. So does this mean at one point Planters and Chester Cheetah faced off?
Yeah.
It dipped into the cheese ball territory, and there was some kerfuffle in there.
Are
The
these
cheese
cheese
puff
balls
wars.
made out of nuts?
I
Cheese
hope
nuts.
Cheese
Exactly.
nuts.
Exactly.
Fuck.
Good job, everybody. Man, fucking we do Mad Men every goddamn week on here. They don't pay us enough money for that.
Hey, Jeremy.
Good.
Yes.
Jeremy, if I got you a puzzle for Christmas and it was just a football stadium on a Friday night with Mr. Peanut on this field, would you want to build that?
Those are very large pieces or a very small puzzle.
Who enjoys Planters peanuts this much? I don't get it. Like,
If I had the money to throw out my whole wardrobe and just replace it with like bullshit branded items, like they sell like a Planters peanut tie. Like I go to work and I'm wearing that with my like Taco Bell branded dress shirt, and I got like my Hot Cheetos pants and my Wendy's nuts shoes.
This is that scene from Wayne's World where Garth is like head to toe in Pepsi's memorabilia, and he's like, it's like people just do things because they get paid, and that's just really sad.
Yeah, it is kind of like that. You want to have like like the podcast equivalent of like race car drivers, where they just like have patches all over their uniform.
Your microphone is covered in stickers of like
Well,
yeah.
Again,
corporate shill.
Yeah. Fucking
Shell.
if I got a funny look, if it's funny enough, I'll do it. That's all I'm saying.
Wow. That's a big statement there.
I'm trying to. I want to say that's a lie. I'm trying to think of a time where it's like there would have been something really fucking funny if you had done it, but you didn't do it.
I think it's fair to say, Jeremy, that every time that you had the opportunity to do something funny, you chose that chance. And God, I admire you for it,
Thank you.
Stay silly.
The hashtag stay silly, never change. All right. Well, this usually isn't I was going to say this isn't usually a podcast about nuts, but that's a lie. I don't want to lie to our listeners. We talked about this a lot.
We've talked about nuts a lot, actually.
Now, we haven't talked about the nutmobile before, so this is a new angle, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
But let's move on to the main topic of the show this week, which is, of course, I Choose You is a podcast about cooking, eating Pokemon. Each week on the show, we randomly select a new Pokemon that we prepare recipes for, and then we decide amongst ourselves in a very democratic, reasonable, and constitutional manner who has the best recipe each week. This week, we're cooking up my favorite Pokemon from the 6th generation of Pokemon, which is Hawlucha, the Lucha Libre hawk. It's very funny. I enjoy it a lot.
I feel like it's one of probably hands down one of the best designed Pokemon in existence.
It's everything about it looks good. It's it's fun to use.
Well, and it's just a great design. Like it's all so cohesive. It's like Luchador, Hawk, like it's all there.
Mm-hmm.
I gotta know, where are you guys at on this thing having like a real mouth and
real
lips?
mouth? Okay.
Yeah, its beak is not its actual mouth. So
let's talk about it, okay?
It is a little strange, I will say that, but it does kind of lean into the mouth. Not the mouth aesthetic, the mask aesthetic that it has. I mean, it might have a mouth aesthetic too, I could say.
I'm kind of okay with it. I don't know. It doesn't bother me too much. If it had now in the drawing from the Bulbapedia, it doesn't show teeth, but if it had like human teeth, that would be
a deal breaker for you.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, it's true. Actually, now that I'm thinking about it, I think I would like it better. Even though I just, was saying the design overall is like hands down one of the best, I would like it better if it was more of a beak versus like a fake mouth.
All right,
or person mouth.
Fucking B- now. Kick this shit out of here.
Wait, so if you take off the luchador mask, what's underneath? Is it just a person?
It's just a person with a really big nose.
Yes.
Like one of those Little Miss Little Miss Sunshine memes.
Oh yeah.
This mouth is a little strange. I'm not going to go around here and lie to the audience. Why would I do that? But I will say that it doesn't detract. It's still an A+ Pokemon. Good name, good design.
Yeah.
Its typing is weird, which makes it fun to mess around with. High praise for Hawlucha, says I.
Agreed.
Who won last week? Was it Ian or Ben?
I think it was me.
All right, Ben. Well, I'm going to give you the honors of gracing us with your Hawlucha recipe.
Thank you. Um, so, we're talking about luchadors, and I feel like, there's, if you were a kid in the mid 2000s and someone said luchador to you, you probably had like two associations.
Hmm.
And one was the cartoon that I'm now blanking on.
Oh,
Mucha Lucha.
Was
Mucha
that-
Lucha.
Wow,
Yes.
I forgot about
fucking
that
love
show.
that show.
That show was really good. There was a lot of great, characters, and they all had different abilities, and all those kids had the different personas, wrestling personas. They went to wrestling school.
Yep,
Hmm.
that was awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Or if you're, of that age group, you think of the classic movie starring Jack Black, Nacho Libre.
Of course.
Well, I bet Ian might bring that up later.
What
Oh,
makes you
really?
say that? Jeremy?
But continue, Ben.
Yeah, well, so I'll just say that as a child growing up, Hispanic child growing up watching Jack Black play a Mexican, I was like, I don't know how I feel about this. And I'll be honest, like for most of my life, I never saw the movie because I was like, I don't know how I feel about this. I did watch it recently, actually. Me and Asia watched it as adults.
Interesting.
How'd you feel?
And I will say, actually, as an adult watching it, I'm like, it's not that bad of a movie. Like, Jack Black does the voice, which is like, all right, cool. But I will say it actually is a fairly good story. And there was some moments where I was legitimately like, this is a good joke. Like,
Did
you
you
know.
LOL?
I think I might have lulled once. Yeah,
Yeah.
there was definitely like some moments where I was like, okay, this is like a kid's movie. And like
Yeah.
these, there's like fart jokes and like, gross out food moments and, stuff like that. But I was like, actually this is actually kind of all right.
Was that
I
produced
was
by
expecting it to
Nickelodeon?
be more cringy.
Yeah, it is a Nickelodeon movie, so
Got it.
Right.
Kind of
And
like
so
that.
I remember as a kid watching the trailers on Nickelodeon like happen a lot,
That's
Mm.
right.
but never actually seeing the movie. Anyway, what I was thinking is we could make a Hawlucha nacho lunchable.
Ooh, okay.
A
A
Haw
Nunchable.
lunchable, if you will. Yeah.
Very good.
So similarly, just like tapping into that childlike state of mind, we're gonna go with the lunchable, the nacho lunchables, which if you remember right, consisted of very little. I actually had to look it up because I was like, they must have included more than just like chips and like cheese dip.
Not much.
But that's all they did. They were like, maybe there's a Capri Sun in there too. But it was really just like salsa, like a handful of chips, and like a packet of cheese sauce, and that was it. However, I did want to send you guys a picture.
Uh-oh.
Because
A lot of pictures this week.
when I was Googling this, just to double check what the ingredients that made up the nacho lunchable, I stumbled upon a search result I wasn't expecting. So I wanted to just maybe I'll send it to you guys and you can describe what you're seeing
Okay.
in the Skype chat.
Um,
I'll just give you a hint. One of these pictures is not like the rest.
Macaroni and cheese.
It's sponsored.
So apparently every market, I don't know if this is real, has a dick-shaped macaroni and cheese. I don't know if is that a real thing? Is that an actual product?
It is
that
a
I
real
can
product.
purchase? Okay.
Yes, it is a real product. It's macaroni and cheese, the original cheese weenie, and it's it's dick shaped macaroni and
Were you
cheese.
say
You were about to
dick
say dick flavored.
I was. I mean, who knows?
It's fine.
It is the original cheese weenie, so um,
How likely would you be to cook and eat that, and also have like chop up like a hot dog and put it in there too?
oh yeah,
10 out of 10.
put some more weenies in there. Just
Yeah.
make it a big weenie bowl. But anyway, so consider that as you're shopping for nacho Lunchables, you might stumble across the Macaroni original cheese wiener. It's out there. Peruse it. But anyway, so I was thinking, in true Lunchable fashion, it's going to be pretty bare bones, just like, like I said, a handful of like kind of stale tortilla chips with some like prepackaged cheese and some salsa, and then we're also going to add we're going to take the tube, the Hawlucha meat tube of meat that comes with the like taco Lunchables, and we're going to include it in our Hawlucha nacho Lunchables as like a extra thing that you can include on your nachos.
Because we need at least some protein in this meal.
Exactly. Otherwise, your child is going to faint.
Your child will die.
I mean, it's hardly any nutrition. It's just like a bunch of chips with salsa for like
Sounds
lunch.
like dinner to me.
And so obviously in this situation, you're just gonna, break out the old Lunchable meat factory tube making device. Meat goes in one direction, tubed meat comes out the other direction, and we're just gonna take our Hawlucha meat and put it right in there. Yeah, Ian.
2 questions.
Mm-hmm.
One, would like the correct way to eat this be you take the chips and you crunch them in your hand and then you blow them across a Lunchable?
Yes. Yeah. Actually, what you're gonna do is you're gonna take all the chips out, put all of the fillings like in the like plastic part of the Lunchable, like squeeze it all out, and then crunch up the chips, and then kind of mix it all around until it becomes like a nice, consistent, homogeneous paste.
I like that.
And that's a really great way to spend part of your lunch time just playing with your food, and then also eat it too.
So, oh yeah, you had another question, Ian?
Well, my second question was like, say I'm like 12 and I go to, Jack Black's School of Wrestling.
Yeah.
Is this going to have the nutrients I need to put 4 on the floor? I don't know what the fucking wrestling terminology is.
Hop off the top rope.
Yeah.
Well, if I'm remembering right, actually in the plot of Nacho Libre, the food in question is disgusting. And so I think that this actually would get all of those children in the church or wherever that it takes place to have more energy and, pursue their dream of wrestling, professional wrestling, luchador wrestling. Yeah.
Excellent.
So my question was going to be, Ben, what dessert pairing goes in this Lunchable?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm thinking maybe like 2 Hershey's Kisses.
Ooh.
2. Wow, we're fucking living like kings right now.
And then like one of those like tubes of like Kool-Aid powder that you would have to like dissolve in your water bottle.
Hmm.
But
Excellent.
you wouldn't. You would just straight
But
up
you wouldn't.
cut
Yeah.
straight in your mouth, or maybe you snort it, depending on how you roll.
Or maybe you traded it for something else.
Yeah.
No judgment. Once the Lunchable seal has been undone, any of the raw materials in the Lunchable is fair game for trade, I think.
Mm-hmm. A bustling barter system pops
Yeah.
up.
The Lunchable, like, because it comes in like a little plastic tray.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
I think the perfect lunchtime meal, because like chairs are going to be hard to find at this school. Hot commodity. They're all being used to fucking slam into the backs of your peers.
It's a problem going to wrestling school.
Yeah, it's tough out there.
Can't find any chairs.
All right. Well, Ian, I think you're going to build off this a little bit. So why don't you indulge us in your recipe this week?
Gladly. You see, I knew someone was going to do something fucking Nacho Libre related.
I got
So-
in there
Knew
first,
it.
so I knew that I was safe.
So the recipe I'm going to go with, let me premise it with this. Listeners, as you can tell from like our banter every week, we're fairly intelligent. We went to college.
Yeah.
Sometimes I question that premise.
We all graduated from Harvard, top of our class, all the same year.
Yeah. We came loud, summa cum laude.
And as such, I want to take you guys back. I want to take the listeners back. Picture
college days.
the year 2015. Ben and Jeremy are young, bright-eyed freshmen. I'm still a senior in high school. I'm taking the train. I'm like a hobo. I'm hopping onto like the back car, and I ride the rails to visit my pals an hour away. And naturally, like, I go to the dining hall. And
we love Lapo, by the way. Shout out to Lapo.
La Posada at UNM. Fantastic. Yes. Well, I just want to walk everyone through like what I would usually do, to that space.
Okay.
What do you mean? I'm trying to think of what you did to it.
just being in this, rummaging around, finding like a big plate of food. Because this
like
week
you're in a video game and you have to like find resources and you're like, oh
Yeah,
boy,
you're, like,
expired
looting.
cheese.
I'm gonna walk you through what I do at the dining hall Hawlucha.
Oh.
Okay. All
Okay.
right.
That's really stretching it, but okay, we'll allow it.
Fuck yourself. Ben had like how Lunchables. I used both parts of the word in mine. My axe. That's what's for lunch at La Posada right now.
Yeah.
Overcooked assholes.
Continue.
So you walk in. They charge you like way too much money to go in one time. So you don't have a meal plan.
Of course.
Yeah.
You pick up your tray.
Okay.
And go down the row. You stack it up. You get like 2 slices of pizza. You get like a bowl of soup.
Okay.
You get some Hawlucha like chicken patty on a bun. Put some ketchup on there, some lettuce, some tomato, all that bullshit.
Yeah.
You go down a little bit more, maybe like, I don't know, you get like a little bit of a salad, but like you're gonna
Not
fucking
really.
eat that,
No.
just for looks. And then you go to like the frozen yogurt machine, and you pile that high, not on the tray. You do get a. Here's the thing: they got the bowls out. Fuck the bowls. You grab a cup.
Yeah, is this like a 7-Eleven, any container goes kind of thing?
You just put your mouth under it. And then I sit down with my pals. We play some cards, shoot the shit. You're like chowing down. You're like, oh, this Hawlucha patty is pretty fucking good tonight, boys. I'm gonna go for round 2. We all go back.
All right. So
Dining
this is the
Hawlucha.
So
Yeah, okay.
the
Yeah.
I
recipe
thought
is
there
the
was another
entire lunch hall.
The joke is that it's a dining hall, and hall rhymes with the hall
no,
and
yep.
Hawlucha, and it's lunchtime.
It's time for lunch.
And so the recipe is just assume any of the fucking meat products in that
Just that
godforsaken
entire
space.
cafeteria.
Yeah.
Runs on Hawlucha.
Yes.
Okay.
So it's like a knockoff bird situation.
It's a bird. That's literally what this thing is. It's
a bird person, kind of.
Yes.
a bird with like fun feather colors, and it loves to ram itself into people.
Yeah.
It's like that bird that like you cleaned your windows so good, and they just keep coming for more.
It's like that bird when I was a child. I mixed a bunch of like things I found under the sink into a bowl outside, and then it drank some of it and died.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Jeremy.
Yeah.
Vinegar.
Shame.
Ben was there. He knows what I'm talking about.
I was not there.
It was for science.
Let it happen.
I'm sure I've told this before, but when I was a small
You
child,
did?
like 6 or 7, I found a bunch of stuff under the sink. I mixed it all together. It was like random chemicals, which you shouldn't do. They explicitly tell you not to do that. And some of the things I put in there included like some food items that had like seeds, and a bird came in, tried to eat some, and then it died.
I hate that.
Man. You never know till you know.
Yeah.
Well, I can. So that's the thing. I'm glad that you really painted this story, like wove this narrative, Ian, because I can actually like see right in front of me the chicken patty on
Mhm.
this on the bread, and it's not like a good thing, but I know exactly what you're getting at. You know,
Mm.
it's like of the options in this food hall, like this is my choice, and like it's not a bad choice, right?
It's
It's
right.
acceptable.
Like you don't want the burger. They're like really greasy. They're like cooked till they're black. Like
Mm.
Yeah,
the chicken is like it's the safe option.
it
Mhm.
is. Yeah, and I can taste it right now. It's perfectly fine for my Hawlucha.
Perfectly
you.
fine.
Thank you.
Mhm. Excellent.
Love it.
Evan,
Yes.
what is your deal this week?
My deal is we're making halu chimichangas this week.
Ooh.
Some good old fried burritos.
Yeah, that was
and
okay. That was an all right one. Pretty funny.
Hey.
No wins for me this week.
You used the name in a as a joke.
God damn it. Some
And
animus.
just to appease Ian, this is going straight in the air fryer, of course. But you get your onion, you get some garlic, some chili powder, cumin, all the good taco seasonings basically, and you're gonna shred your halucha meat and then mix it together with all of your good taco seasonings. Add a little bit of your favorite smoky kind of salsa to it. Add some refried beans, some cheese, sour cream, all that stuff into your good old giant tortilla, chipotle sized tortilla or something like that. Roll it up, toss it in the air fryer. Mwah.
Damn,
Oh.
I've never had like a chimichanga made in an air fryer. I wonder how that's good.
I haven't either. It looks good. It looks great.
I would think that the air fryer is probably an ideal chimichanga maker, honestly.
Because those can get pretty greasy.
Yeah.
Mhm.
They made so like this seems pretty ideal.
Would you say this is Deadpool's favorite recipe?
Oh, I would say
Does he like chimichangas? Is
Yes, that's like a
that.
joke
Yep.
he makes.
That's my go-to meal at Los Cuates in Albuquerque,
Mm.
and they do it really good with like green chili and red chili smothered, and then they give you like two containers, one with like a full thing of guacamole, and the other one's a full thing of sour cream, and you just like
Mm.
Oh,
I'm-
fuck yeah,
I'm
baby.
fucking paint like a Van Gogh every time.
Yeah, you're a fucking artist over here.
Starry night over here.
Yeah.
Does everyone here own an air fryer now?
I
Yes.
don't yet.
Evan.
I'm the odd one out.
No.
I know. I don't know if we have space in our kitchen for one, but I absolutely want one.
I was
So-
thinking of making some air fried potatoes for my dinner tonight.
Evan, you don't have space not to have one.
That sure. Yeah.
You're gonna
Well,
wake up
so-
one day and all of your like appliances are gonna be replaced with air fryers, and you're gonna be like, "Oh, I need to wash my clothes," and you like open it and it's an air fryer.
Mm.
Well,
Air
so
fryer.
I kind of think about it in the same way that like the rice cooker has changed my life. Like I feel like I remember talking maybe on this show with you guys about like, rice and whatnot. And you were like, why don't you get a rice cooker? And I was like, never thought about it. And you were like, it's a game changer. And it really is. And so is the air fryer. Gotta say.
I want one. I'm make some space in my kitchen and I'm there. It's
Yeah.
taken up to that shelf.
Right.
Can you get like a wall installed one? Like a microwave, but it's a
Get like a Murphy air fryer that comes like down from the wall.
Oh.
Why
that's
can't they just
cool.
be
Yes.
already built into a kitchen appliances?
it's just as
Future.
integral as the fridge.
Yeah.
It's true. I have a load bearing air fryer in my
Yes. Well, I mean, some kitchens. I mean, it's pretty rare, I would assume, but I assume you could get a kitchen with a small convection oven, like as a built-in appliance, which is what an air
Right.
fryer is.
Right.
So I think you could
Possible.
kind
It
of
probably
make that work.
exists.
Yeah, but chimichangas, can they have like fun faces on them that look like the Hawlucha?
Ooh, yeah. If you like get like a panini press, but there's a plate of a halucha face, and you just like press it down, right?
Nice.
I would-
Yes.
I could do
would
that.
love that.
Or Ian's painting option, because I mean guacamole, he's kind of got a green color on him as well. Guacamole,
could
red
do it.
chili, bada bing,
Sour
bada
cream,
boom.
The white.
I can see
Yes.
that happening.
Oh shit, yeah, we're doing some fucking art today, boys.
I can imagine maybe like a chimichanga food truck with like a Hawlucha theming to it, I feel like that could be pretty cool.
Yeah,
Call it the nutmobile. I don't know.
Nah, I don't know about that. Doesn't have the nut element that we're looking for, I think.
The
No.
Hawlucha.
Oh, there you go. That's like Ian's recipe.
That was very funny. That was
All right, Jeremy, what's your recipe this week?
Oh man.
Oh, my recipe this week's have been interesting because
Oh.
I went to dinner yesterday and I had a very
Shit.
delicious dinner, and it is what I'm going to make for my recipe today. Like,
Was
I was
it
like-
interesting?
yeah, well, I mean, it's interesting because it's like I didn't really like try to concoct a recipe. It's just like this. What I literally had for dinner yesterday is perfect for Hawlucha. So
Mm.
this week for Hawlucha, we're gonna make, and Ian, I will admit, you got me on this one. I don't have any like silly puns or for the title or anything. It's just gonna be straight up the recipe. We're gonna make a version of Pollo Pibil with Hawlucha. Now, are you familiar what Pollo Pibil is?
No.
Can't say that I am.
Well, it's a
Pibil.
Mexican chicken dish that's specifically from the Yucatan Peninsula, and it's based upon using a lot of a spice known as achioto. I'm not 100% sure about how to pronounce that. Achioto, achiate. And what it does is it's like a spice that you rub into the chicken while you cook it, and it turns the chicken red.
Mm.
Oh, I've
And-
had this with pork.
Yes, it is. It is also commonly used with pork.
Yeah.
It's kind of it's not quite a barbecue, but it's kind of like a similar kind of like feeling towards a barbecue or a jerk chicken. And you also cook it in banana leaves. So it's going to be red chicken, green banana leaves. So it gives you the coloration of the Hawlucha. Also within the Pibil recipe usually is roasted tomato and whole cloves of like garlic, which will
Nice.
also accentuate the coloration that we're going. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna get the Hawlucha. We're gonna get its legs, whoosh, rip them off. We're gonna rub them down in the seasoning that we're gonna use, which is the achioto paste, orange juice, lime juice, oregano, cumin, cinnamon. You let it soak overnight. You're gonna marinate it. It says cook in a Dutch oven. Wrap it in the banana leaves so it's nice and moist situation. You get to serve it on the banana leaves as well, and you're gonna throw in roasted tomato, garlic, onion if you are interested. Pickled onion is a popular choice, as is in that part of Latin America. And then basically what we're going to do is we're going to unwrap it, and we're going to kind of use the banana leaves to kind of form the beak shape of the Hawlucha and the undergarment of it because it's green. And then we're going to put the Pibil on top of it, and that will be the red part of the Hawlucha made with
Nice.
Hawlucha meat. And that's my recipe. It's Pollo Pibil with Hawlucha. Yes, Ian.
Wow.
What did you have to drink?
Yesterday?
Yeah.
Would you believe that I ordered a margarita?
I fucking knew it.
Nice.
Machosa?
You got it. Oh,
It was at Harry's Roadhouse, and
really? They had Pibil.
yes,
Wow.
their specials change every week. So it was it was a unique thing, but it was I did have a marg. I had
Hell
an
yeah.
orange margarita with my Hawlucha, which I mean, hey,
Sounds delicious.
you're in Mexico. Might as well throw up a margarita, not throw up, but
Might
throw
as
on a margarita.
Totally throw it up.
With this, I think had a great dinner yesterday. Paired super well. That's all I'm saying.
Did you have
All
a
right.
dessert?
I did not have any dessert. My dessert
Appetizer.
was chips and dip. Okay.
Yeah.
Want any more questions about my dinner?
I will say I'm sad you didn't get a dessert because Harry's Roadhouse desserts are prime.
They're quite good, but I will say my meal was rather large, so I wasn't particularly hungry for a dessert at the end of the night. We sat next to a large fire that was burning next to us. Yeah.
Here's a question.
Yeah.
Would you rather? Because I agree, Jeremy. Often when I go to a restaurant and eat food, like I don't have enough for dessert. But
Mhm.
I mean, herein lies the question: would you rather have an appetizer and entree, or an entree and dessert?
See, that's a good question. Now, at an establishment like this, classic, New Mexican restaurant, I love getting chips and salsa and guacamole.
Yeah.
It's
Oh,
so
yeah.
much. It just puts me in the right mood. With my marg and then whatever food I'm getting afterwards, kind of situation.
Yeah.
And that usually, honestly, and that's usually good. I'm good on that. And it's that very like savory, spicy dinner kind of situation, and you don't have any of the sweetness of the dessert. But if a place is like their dessert is really good, I'll probably maybe like think about maybe alighting
Right.
that for one thing.
What about you guys?
I think it depends on the cuisine. Like, yeah, New Mexican food, absolutely, chips and salsa, got to do it. When I'm thinking like French or European style food, I feel like I usually go for the dessert at the end. I'm not so much an
Yeah.
appetizer guy.
Yeah.
I'll usually be that one that be like, yeah, I'll have an espresso after my dinner.
Nice.
You know,
Don't make me choose. I need all three.
You need
That's
all
right.
three.
I'm
Well,
not sure I
but how
understand this,
often do
like-
you actually have room in your stomach for an appetizer, an entree, and dessert?
oh, most of the time I do. Yeah,
There's always room for like.
second stomach.
So the reason why I'm thinking about this is because, you know, Valentine's Day was recently, and me and Asia went out to dinner, and it was one of those places that had like a fixed course, you know,
Mhm.
kind of thing. And it was like really great until, you know, well, not until, but like then the dessert came, and we were
And then
like,
the
this
waiter
is
like
just-
started like kicking
This
us and
fucker
like
thought he could just bring me dessert.
yeah,
Well, no,
poured
they were
chocolate
like,
on our
just-
heads.
you know, they were like, what do you want for dessert? And I was just like, I have no idea. But we just ended up getting, you know, the desserts that they had. And it was like, this is great, but like, I'm so stuffed right now. There's no way I'm eating this. Like, you know, I don't know. It doesn't exist within me to have the food capacity to do like, you know, appetizers, like snacks beforehand, a main course, and dessert. I don't know.
Train.
I guess
Yeah.
so.
You got to be like Joey Chestnut, Ben.
I guess so.
Got to chestnut it.
Oh, the chestnut mobile.
Yeah, the chestnut mobile.
Ooh,
Joey Chestnut
okay.
would get on the nutmobile.
Better.
Glizzy those peanuts.
Yes, glizz those nuts.
Oh man, do you think he, for his personal automobile vehicle, do you think he has a vanity plate that says Nutmobile?
Hmm.
Mm.
Or does it just say like nutty?
Nutty. Mr. Chestnut. Maybe. I'm just, you know, kind of spitballing some good vanity plates for Joey Chestnut in case he's listening.
All right.
That reminds
Mr. Nut,
there's
give us a
there's
call.
there's a Tumblr account that's like California license plates.
Yeah.
And it like shows ones that have gone in for application and have been rejected for various reasons.
Yeah.
That's a
it's
pretty
pretty
good
good.
follow.
Yeah.
Excellent. Are you guys ready to vote for the recipes this week?
Let's do
I
it.
think so.
From Ben, we have Hawlucha Nacho Lunchables. From Ian Davis, we have Lunch Hall Lucha, if I'm remembering correctly.
All luncha.
Hall Luncha, which is just it's a cafeteria where all the meat. Sorry, Jesus. It's a cafeteria where all the meat is Hawlucha. Not just, it is.
Just a cafeteria with some fucking food.
From Ian, from Evan, we have Hawlucha Chimichangas, and from me, we have Hawlucha P-Bill. So, everyone vote for your favorite recipe, and Ben will tell us who won. My thing's freaking out. Hold on a second. Oh no! Someone start vamping. My voting mechanisms have
Well,
died.
Let me tell you, I'm on the Planters Peanut website. I was going through like their normal food products, and their section that has like antioxidant nut mix, energy nut mix, heart health nut mix. It's just like peanuts with fucking dried like cranberries in it. You know what I mean? But it's
Wow.
called nutrition products.
Oh, that's good.
Pretty
you
good.
increase your stamina.
Oh,
That's good. That's good.
And they
Oh,
do.
Jeremy, were you able to vote?
I did. Do you have a winner? Ben?
Yes. It froze.
Yeah. Wow.
I only have
What-
3.
Oh, Ben, come back to us.
struggling to cast their vote.
What, Ben? Oh, so Ben, I'm gonna say you froze on us. Do you have any information that you would like to convey about who won or did not?
So far I still only have 3 votes.
What? Oh my gosh! It said I voted. I don't know what's going on.
Do we start again? Someone gonna vote twice?
Let me try again. Okay. I'm gonna try it. I'm gonna try it again.
Should I try again?
Should I try again?
Ben, do you
I
have
don't
a
know
winner?
who's okay. Now I have 4 responses. Okay, now I have 4 responses. And Evan has won this week's episode of I Choose You.
I'm back.
With 2 votes. Jeremy got a vote and Ian got a vote.
Nice.
All right. Cool. All right. Now let's move on to everyone's favorite segment of the show. It's called Whale Lord's Mail Horde. It's where we read your comments, questions, and recipes sent into ichoosepod@gmail.com. That's ichewspod@gmail.com. Ian, can you read this email from Edward?
Yep. Edward writes, for Hawlucha, thank you, Ed. Feel free to make nachos.
That's all they wrote.
That's it.
That's it.
Good job, Ben. You thought of that. ichoosepod@gmail.com. Let's move on to the Discord submission from Pokemaniac Chris. He wrote quite a novel this week, so glad Ed's was short.
Yes, this is from Pokemaniac Chris, who writes, Hawlucha has this important cultural history with masked warriors. This Pokemon inspired traditions all around the world of martial artists who wear a mask in battle in order to be inhabited by a warrior spirit, separate their true selves from the act of violence by adopting a persona, yada, yada, yada.
Oh, man, this sounds like, God, that's like some philosophy. Continue.
You go to Kalos, you go to Paldea, you go to Alola, and in all those places, you find masked martial artists inspired by Hawlucha, honing their craft and fighting for the honor of the mask. And then you go to Galar, where everything is just kind of fucked up, and you go out to visit some nomadic fucking hill people outside of Stow-on-Side, and they're eating Hawlucha and making masks from their skin in order to gain their powers, and you scream internally because you realize you've just found your next recipe and you wish you hadn't.
This is how I know everything.
And yes, by you, I do mean me, quote unquote. What do you think I'm doing in the weeks when I don't submit recipes? I'm sitting in a fucking hill person bivouac. What do you pronounce that word? Bivouac?
Yes, bivouac.
While a chipper-looking cannibal sits across from me grinning and stirs a pot of Hawlucha bone broth, which I hope still smells tastier than I do. Wow. So yes, the young warrior goes out alone to hunt and kill a Hawlucha with their bare hands, because of course they do.
Yeah.
They string the corpse up and drain the blood into a special ritual flask made from a poltergeist pot and some Runerigus teeth. The blood it's something from Sword and Shield.
Oh, you're right. Jesus Christ. I even played that one, Ben, so you can't get mad at me about that.
The blood is reserved for the clan druid, who will use it later to brew a special ointment that lends a mystical half-life to the mask and cloak that the warrior is going to make from the skin and feathers. Speaking of which, when the warrior skins the Hawlucha with their teeth, because of course they do, consecrates the heart to some hideous fucking hill person deity and eats it raw. There's a lot of animosity towards hill people.
Look, obviously, hill people have a certain association in the United States, but maybe it's a bigger problem in New Zealand than we anticipated.
The remaining organs, thank Arceus, are salted and dry-aged for 6 months before being turned into a sort of pate that the hill people spread on pieces of flatbread. It's actually not bad, says Pokemaniac Chris.
Mm-hmm.
The warrior eats as much of the meat raw as they can manage, then burns the rest of it as a sacrifice to a different but equally appalling hill person deity. Then there's the main event, the bones. Before the warrior is allowed to return home in triumph, they have to boil the Hawlucha's bones in a torkoal shell to make a broth. Oh my god, there's so much like world building. There is a strict recipe for this broth that the warrior must not deviate from, lest another one of their awful deities strike them down on the spot. I tried to suggesting to the warrior I was following that she could try adding a sprinkle of edelgauss seeds to brighten the flavor profile a little, and she said that her god would feed me my own gallbladder. The only permissible additions, apparently, are a cup of scorpion venom, a whole Duskull shroud, 4 Durant eyes, and a fistful of silly cobra sand. I conjecture that this last ingredient counteracts the toxicity of the scorpion venom, which would otherwise constitute a lethal dose.
Nice.
The warrior must drink half of the broth, then return home with the rest of it to share with their clan without spilling a drop. Otherwise, the whole ghastly exercise must be repeated from the beginning. Fortunately, I was not deemed worthy to actually taste the broth, but I was told that its flavor profile includes notes of raw meat, rancid butter, and glorious death. I have introduced the hill people to LaCroix. They have expressed high hopes for a bone marrow flavor. I think I'm done here.
You know,
It's
this
like
the whole
dispatches
novel
from the field.
is like a H.P. Lovecraft story where some person's like, I went to the hills and there were some hill people and they kept eating me.
Yeah.
Thank you for writing in, Pokemania Chris. We always love your submissions. Now is where we pick next week's Pokemon on a section I like to call Pick 'em On. Now, again, usually we do the randomly generated number thing, but Gen 6 has so few Pokemon that we have to be judicious about our numbering. And so I have to ask, have we done just the next one up from Hawlucha? Have we done Dedenne?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, we have. So my next question, have we done Flabebe?
That
Yes.
sounds familiar.
Yes.
We
Okay. See, this is a big problem we're running into right now. We might have to call it audible and go back to older generations
What?
sooner than
No
we
way.
called. Yes.
There has to
yes.
be other
Break
ones
the
that we haven't
format.
done yet, right?
Have we done? Oh, you know what? One. I will say we could probably do helioptile.
Oh
which-
yeah, the lizard.
Yes, the electric lizard type. We haven't done that one
Ooh,
yet.
that would be good.
Yeah, yeah. There's gotta
Alright.
be still some left until we hit like 190, right?
Yeah, I'm working real hard on it, which
Yeah.
is just looking at this list. We haven't done any of the legendaries either, so that's always a
Okay.
possibility as well. So let's do helioptile. I don't know how to say this. Oh my god. For next week's Pokemon. So send in your helioptile recipes to ichoosepod@gmail.com. All right, time to do plugs. Where can we find you guys on the internet?
You can find me at on Tumblr at thefearandnow.tumblr.com. And you can also find me on Twitter at Ben C. Montoya. And I'll just also say I haven't been listening to a ton of podcasts that might be within this realm of interests lately, but one thing that I did listen to is a audio drama podcast on Spotify about Harley Quinn and the Joker.
Oh
good
shit,
one.
you got Jokerfied.
I did, yeah, and it's quite good actually. It's called Sound Mind, and it's on Spotify. So if that's of interest to you, go check it out. It's pretty good.
All right, Evan. No, I usually do Ian
You
first. Is
can
that okay?
go to Ian. Yeah.
Yes, Ian.
I'm gonna use my plug to redo a review for the cheese balls on Planter's website
Okay.
because it has 4 reviews, 3 of which are 1 star.
Oh shit, Jesus.
Not
Will not ever buy again. You guys
Okay.
changed something, 2 exclamation points. They are way more airy than they used to be, and the taste of the cheese is different too. Even the shape of the balls is odd. They used to be similar in shape and size, and now they aren't. I'm not sure why you would take a good thing and make it terrible. Why change something that tasted great before? I'm assuming it was to save money on your end, but if no one buys them, then what's the point of even making them? Stop trying to cheat us. We know the difference.
Oh no. I hope they're okay.
They made them nut flavored instead of cheese.
Yeah, there you go. That's
The
what
other
you do when
2
you replace corn with nuts.
There's something wrong here.
all 3 of the 1-star reviews bring up the shape of the balls. They're like, this is different.
They reinvented the ball shape.
My plug this week.
A revolution in ball design.
Yeah, too revolutionary.
Yeah.
Oof.
Great. Well, thank you for sharing that, Ian. But Evan, let's get back to you. What's
Oh
your
yeah,
plug this week?
you can sign up for my newsletter on all things design and technology and just fun art things in general at foryourinternet.fyi. I post a newsletter every 2 weeks. There's one coming out next week, so stay tuned. Or I guess
Right.
this week if you're listening to it.
Yes, it is. It will be Tuesday when this comes out.
Oh, yeah.
You can find me, Jeremy Zielik, at Velocity Prime 1 on Twitter, Velocity Prime No 1 on Tumblr, and at the-avocado.org/Jeremy Zielik for writings about various things. That's where you can find me, the-avocado.org. And I think we're ready to wrap up the show tonight. So this has been I Choose You, the podcast about cooking and eating Pokemon. You can find us on your favorite podcasting apps, including Apple Podcasts, Google Play, Stitcher, Spotify, or your podcast catcher of choice. If you like our show, make sure to give us a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts and Spotify to help us go up the ranks. If you want more I Choose You goodness, may I suggest joining our social media pages, I Choose Pod on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok. If you want to be a part of the I Choose You community, I suggest joining the I Choose You Discord. Links are available in the episode description. Hang out with fellow choosies, talk about like a book you read, maybe a video game, some recipes, all that fun stuff with like-minded individuals who want to cook and eat Pokemon. All that on the I Choose You Discord. Lastly, but not leastly, check out the official I Choose You website, ichooseyou.menu. ichooseyou.menu is a full episode archive and a merch store, all designed by one Evan Aubrey. ichooseyou.menu. And I've been your host and Alton Brown of the group for I Choose You. This has been Jeremy Zielik.
I've been your friend on the show, Ben Montoya.
I've been Jared Hess, Ian Davis.
And your nut, Evan Aubrey.
Aww.
Yeah, thank you. And to all the choosies out there in Radioland, in a while, Totodile.
Yeah, I choose you. Yeah, I choose you. Everybody wants to be a master chef. Everybody wants to show their skill. In the kitchen, everybody wants to cook that cluncher. Finian at the top of the grill. Each time you fry, gonna cook it just a little bit better. Each taste you try, boy, this froky is nice and tender. It's a whole new world we cook in. It's a whole new place to eat. We're in season 6 with some brand new recipes, 'cause we're still gonna cook them all and make a pun or 2 or 3. It's a whole new world we cook in. It's a whole new place to eat. We're in season 6 with some brand new recipes, 'cause we're still gonna cook them all and make a pun or 2 or 3.